Assalamu alaikum, dear fellows. Today I have a very special guest for you, Mr. Zeeshan Ahmed Faraz. He visited 35 countries and 75 cities, and he also studied abroad. So I invited him to let you know that what are the opportunities and challenges in settling abroad and studying in abroad. So, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me for this podcast.
Thank you.
And let me introduce myself. My name is Zeeshan Ahmed Faraz, and I graduated from University of Karachi in computer science, and then I went to UK for master's degree in computer science as well. So my experience span is very diverse, and it spans over 19 years. So I started my career as NPIA, okay, where I got the opportunity to visit these 35 countries, as Mr. Hamza mentioned. And in these 35 countries, I visited nearly 75 cities of these 35 countries. So I have a vast experience of traveling and knowing people, different cultures, and then I went to UK as well for studies. And these are my experience. Based on my experience, I would like to share my experiences with you guys, and let's start.
Yes.
Okay.
My first question is,
And one more thing I would like to add. Currently, I'm working as a data professional, okay, in a US firm, and I teach as well. So,
mashallah. Zeeshan sir, please enlighten my viewers that if any one of them would like to go for studies to abroad and also want to settle there, so what are the opportunities across the world?
before answering your question, I would like the viewers, before taking such a big step, such a huge step, which involves a large amount of investment, a huge amount of effort, and coming out of your comfort zone, and like there's everything, there's so much huge, so much that you have to be well prepared before taking these steps. So first we need to ask ourselves that why there's a need to immigrate, what is the purpose of our taking this step. So the first thing that should come in our mind, like we should answer these questions before taking this big step. So the first question is, why do we need to immigrate? Most of the common reasons these days, which most of the Pakistanis and the upcoming students and professionals in the job market, they are worried about the economic situation of the country because of high inflation. They are not able to cope up with their basic necessities. So that's the reason that they want to immigrate, and they have a perception that if they immigrate to a different country, they may have a better living standard. They may have better healthcare services. They may have stability over there, economically and political stability as well. So these are the questions that you need to make yourself sure that why is there a need to immigrate, and what is the purpose. Now for the students, if they think that going abroad is a piece of cake, so I would advise them that it is not. It is a very big task. It has lots of challenges as well as opportunities. So if you want to immigrate, if you want to study abroad, so what are the steps and what are the checklists that you need to consider before taking this step? So the first thing, before defining the purpose and making yourself sure that you need to immigrate, and these are the reasons that you don't find yourself comfortable in your home country, and you want to immigrate. So going forward, you need to select. The next thing is you need to select the country. Which country do you want to immigrate? There's no 2 plus 2 equals 4 type of type of answer to this question, because every country has its own benefits, opportunities, and challenges. Let's say if you consider Europe, so the very first challenge that come up is the language barrier. Here in Pakistan, people are not they don't, apart from English and Urdu, they don't have any other understanding of other languages. So when we go to Europe, so the first challenge is the language barrier. We have to learn a new language. Okay. Then selecting a country has its, you need to consider other variables as well, like what is the political stability there, what are the economic challenges there, because not every country has that much opportunity for you as you have perceived or you have made about your mind accordingly. Okay? So you have to research thoroughly, go to different websites and different experiences of different people. Try to find out the worst case as well, because we tend to believe in sugary content. Okay, we tend to believe in the success. We tend to listen to success stories, but we ignore the worst cases. We ignore the failures. When we consider the failures as well, then we would be in a better condition to take a better decision. So the language barrier, like while selecting, you need to see the profile of that country, how stable it is politically, economically, and what are the challenges like language and cultural challenges, then the job opportunities over there. So once you have this better understanding and you come up with one or two areas, one or two regions or a country, let's say you select or opt for US. Now once you have done, when you have answers to these two questions, now the next question arises, like what are the possibilities of going or immigrating or having a visa, student visa or other type of visa for going to US. So if you're going on a student visa, you need to have a good letter of recommendation or letter of acceptance of admission from a good university, okay, which is recognized by their institutions and on which you are easily granted a visa. Okay, so you start searching for, after selecting a country, you start searching for universities. I recommend that at least select 5 universities. Okay, at least select 5, so that you have like if there are rejections, so you have other options as well. So at least 5, and keeping in view now what you need to consider while selecting the 5 universities, what courses are offered, okay, what are the CGPA requirements, how much funds are required for that, what documentations are required. So you have to arrange everything accordingly as per the university requirements, because otherwise they won't accept your some universities, like most of the good universities, they require professional experience as well. Let's say you are an MBA, so they would for giving admissions to higher education for PhD and masters, they may have a requirement that you have at least 2 years of working experience in your field. Okay, so if there is a requirement, then you have to fulfill this as well. Okay, so once you before this, I would like the students, like for who don't have this much of fund and this much of investment, so there are opportunities for them as well. There are many countries which offer different type of scholarships. Okay, like the US, they have the Fulbright scholarship. They are announced in the local publications, and you have to fulfill certain requirements like giving TOEFL, IELTS, and GRE type of score you need for that. And if you are able to grab that opportunity, then they are fully funded. They cover the living expenses and your university fees, admission fees, and all these things. You only have to study, and you have to work to some extent so that you can fund your food and clothing stuff. That's it. So try to find scholarships. US offers Fulbright, and there are various university scholarships as well. They give you discounts. Okay, look for that. Opt for that university that gives you discount, because due to the difference of devaluation or value of our currency, we need to consider this as well. Okay, and UK offers Chevening scholarship, that is also announced. Then Germany has DAAD, DAAD, DAAD scholarship, and then there are various scholarships available. You can search online and you'll find them. Okay. Then there are various groups, various charity organizations. They also fund students who are capable, deserving, and they who don't have that much of fund to study abroad. Okay. So try to find. The point is, try to find this scholarship funding, so that you are not worried about like half of your worries are done, are over once you are capable of grabbing this opportunity. So once you have fulfilled all these requirements, then you need to like give the IELTS or TOEFL requirement, which takes at least 6 months time, like 3 to 6 months, depending on your understanding of English or your knowledge of English. Nowadays, maybe the students are very well versed in English. They won't take this much of time, but you need to understand the pattern, how the paper is taken. So if you understand that, you can give within a month as well. But at least for my understanding, you need at least 2 to 3 months time, or maybe more, to prepare yourself, and then apply for the dates on the dates, and then give the test. So once you have the required result, you apply for the university which you have selected, along with all the documents, like attestations are there, and then approvals, then recommendations from your university professors. So all these documents are required, and you have to fulfill all the visa requirements as well. You apply for once you have the IELTS done, you apply for the university visa, university admissions. If the university approves your admission and gives you proof of a letter of recommendation or letter of approval for the admission, then based on this letter, you apply for the visa. Okay, then there are different challenges for the visa. Now you have to maintain a bank balance for certain amount that vary from country to country. Approximately 2.5 is the minimum. 2.5 million is a minimum amount that you need to show as a for going abroad. Okay. So you have to fulfill all these requirements and apply for a visa. Once you have the visa, then you need to buy a ticket, and then before going there, you need to arrange your accommodation. For students, I would recommend, instead of living alone, try to find a dormitory, or try to find a university accommodation, okay, which is provided by the university. Or like once you're there, and once you have the experience, once you have the understanding of their culture, their way of living, then you can offer cheaper accommodation and these cheaper accommodations. Okay. But for newer students, for first timers, I would recommend to go to university approved hostels, dormitories, or accommodations which are provided by the university. So yes.
So thank you very much. I would like to add one thing, that there are many countries which gives scholarship through the Higher Education Commission. So if you really want to, if you are seeking for the scholarship, then you must visit to the HEC, because I know many of my friends who went abroad just getting the scholarship from the HEC. One of my friend's wife went to Germany through the HEC scholarship. Two of my friends went to Malaysia through the HEC scholarship. So basically HEC does not announce its own scholarship all the time. They basically try to refer others' countries' scholarship, as Zeeshan sir was telling you about it. So I just wanted to add one thing in that context, particular context. Okay, Zeeshan sir, tell me.
Excuse me, I would like to add one more thing. With the HEC scholarship, they have a condition. And like while selecting any scholarship, you also need to check for the conditions. Like for HEC, they require that you have to come back and work for at least 2 years in a government organization or in the country. If you don't come back, they have a pre-signed bond of, I don't know the amount, exact amount, but you have to sign that bond. And if you're not coming back, if you're not returning and joining the institution, then you have to pay that amount to clear yourself and for the NOC, so that condition is fulfilled. So keep these things in mind while opting for the scholarships. If there are conditions, you need to fulfill all their conditions and accept that and work accordingly.
Okay, thank you very much, Zeeshan sir. Now, please tell our viewers that if anyone wants to settle over there and wants to settle their generation as well, immigrate there. So, which country do you see are near to our culture, the Southeastern culture, East Asian culture, and which is more congenial to our particularly Pakistani environment?
For this question, the answer is there is no country that meets our requirement. Basically, we as a nation take things for granted, and we are not serious to ourselves first. We are not serious to the country, to the law. So we have to prepare ourselves for their requirements, their culture. So there is no country which matches our culture, because our culture is very distorted, has changed over the period of time. Our values has changed, and we as a nation have a habit of like wasting time in like unnecessary things, like wasting time on mobile phones and talking on irrelevant web matters, discussions that has no end to like, and no learning points from it. So we tend to waste a lot of time. Secondly, we are like happy-go type of nation. We most of the time we say words that are not based on facts, okay, and we work on assumptions, whereas most of the world and most of the Western world, they work and they take decisions based on facts. Okay, so this is the cultural shift that you need to understand and prepare yourself before immigrating to that country, because coming 5 seconds or 1 second late is considered as late in US, UK, Australia, Canada and Europe. But here in Pakistan, 5 seconds are nothing. Even 5 minutes or 50 minutes are nothing. Okay, people take it for granted. So there the culture of reaching on time or before time, I would suggest that you have to, if you're not immune, or if you're not tuned into this type of thing, then you have to prepare yourself first before going there. Otherwise, you will face a lot of challenges.
Okay. So, what do you think? What are the major shifts? If I would say 3 professional shifts, and the few skill set, if you would like to add for the students, so that they do not have to go for the odd jobs kind of thing. They can make their own living with the skill set.
These days, there are lots of opportunities, okay, which are provided by the open environment of social media and internet, provided by these newer technologies. So if the students are unable to find a proper or relevant field of job in the new country, then there are many opportunities and options to work online. Okay, so try to find that and try to do it in your home country. Start doing it in your home country, so that when you reach there, you are already working for it. But for students, I would advise them to concentrate and prioritize the education factor, because you have invested a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of like your energies were involved in it, a lot of fundings that were arranged through different means, okay, through the earnings of your parents. So you have to be focused and prioritize the educational factor, because when I was there in UK, what I saw, most of the students, they were after work, and they didn't prioritize the education. They prioritized job, and they worked more hours to either what we say, meet up their expenses, or they were there just for the job factor. So once the priority was not the education, they started losing it. And then they started dropping out semesters, and the university degree that was for 18 months, it spanned over 3 years. Okay, so once you are in this cycle, in this vicious cycle, then you tend to lose that focus and that energy to come up, to cover up or to complete this educational opportunity that was your main factor that you went there. So I would recommend and advise the new students to, when you're immigrating on student visa, complete your degree first, accomplish this task first, then opt for the job factor. Because like when you work, when you do odd jobs in your free time. Once you have completed your task of education, then the time that you have, you can do odd job and that. But don't prioritize it. Okay, because most of the people most of the students who go there, they have that in mind that we have to do 2 or 3 jobs. Okay, we have to send money back. We have to recover the cost, the investments that we have done. For recovering, I would suggest that this is not the good option. This is not a better option. Once you have completed your degree and you have prepared yourself for the job market, and you get a job opportunity there, then you will be able to recover the funds and all these expenses in a very short of period of time. Otherwise, this vicious cycle is going to take 10 years, 15 years, depending on what type of odd job you are involved in. The next major thing is, it is not like you may be working, you may be earning well, but there is no career growth. So it is going to keep you behind every time, because nobody is going to consider this experience of yours as a career. Okay, so these are the things that you need to consider.
Like you guys have seen that many of the students work in the call centers like that. So its experience never counts when you go professionally, apply and professionally in any company. So likewise, Mr. Zeeshan was telling you that focus on the studies, the objective you went there for, you have to complete that, and when you are done with that, then opt for any professional job which has a career growth. So
I would like to add one thing. See, when you are there in a new country, mostly in the West, the competition level is very high. Here in Pakistan, you compete with your fellow Pakistanis, but when you're in a Western world, the competition for you is with the Indians, with Chinese, with Sri Lankans, with Russians, with Europeans, with UK graduates. Okay, so you have to prepare yourself, and you have to compete with all these nationalities to get yourself a degree and to get yourself hired by the companies. So you have to, if you don't prepare yourself, if you don't study, if you prioritize work over studies, then you're going to lose it. So this is my advice. So you have to prepare yourself.
Let me conclude the important points that Mr. Zeeshan was telling you. First, you need to look at the reasons you want to go abroad for, because you are leaving your country. So what are the particular objective of yours? So you need to look at it. Are the objectives material objective? Are the cultural objectives? Are the basic necessities objectives? If you have, then you have to go into that country where these objectives are met. Otherwise, it will not be a success story. Importantly, next you need to see that where you can get the scholarship, because the scholarships will minimize the challenges of yours. It will increase the chances of success of yours. So you need to focus on that. In that, Mr. Zeeshan was telling you about the US scholarship,
And UK.
US, UK, European scholarships, and I also mentioned the HEC scholarships. But the HEC scholarship requires you to be in the Pakistan for some time, for some years, so that your bond is completed. Next, we talked about the professionally, if you want to work anywhere, settle anywhere. So in that particular instance, he said, go for the student visa and focus on your studies. When your studies are complete, then you are welcome by that country for any professional career job. So do you like to add something to conclude?
To conclude, I must say that be honest. Be honest to yourself first, because if you're not honest to yourself, you tend to start losing the very same moment. So be honest. Take your decisions based on facts, not on hearsay, not on trends, not on perceptions or assumptions. So try to figure out the facts, and then based on that facts, take a decision. Still, it is not 100% that you're going to succeed. There are chances, there are missing variables, there are missing points that you may have not considered, and they may lead to failure. Okay, but the more input the more variables and the more points that you consider are going to increase your chances of success. Okay, but one more thing, do look for failures as well, because they are going to tell you those points which you have missed. Okay, what are the go for the success stories and the failure stories as well. There are many people who fail when they go there. They get worse, they get involved into different things like financial burdens, okay, like moral things, okay, which are not considered legal here in Pakistan. They involve themselves in that, like narcotics, drugs, and illicit material content like this. So you need to see that thing as well, and prepare yourself to keep yourself away from this.
Last important point I would like to reiterate from the Mr. Zeeshan conversation. You have to unlearn the society norms which are being followed over here, like the latecomings, the irregularities, the non-seriousness, the non-professional attitude. Because when you go to abroad, there is a lot of challenges, there is a lot of competition. So competing in that environment requires you to have the best-in-class professional attitude, so that you can compete and you can grow there. So if we see that Pakistanis has more trouble in their attitude instead of their skill set. So skill set, we are good at learning skill set, but we are not good at attitude. So we need to check on that, because our neighbor countries, you see, the other East Asian countries, their people are more successful as compared to Pakistani. Why? Because of the particularly non-professional attitude. So we need to consider that a very, very important thing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Zeeshan sir, for your time.
Thank you. One last point. Always consider in a foreign country that you are an ambassador of Pakistan, because whatever you do over there, good or bad, is going to create a perception of Pakistan, of Pakistanis in their mind. So do accordingly, act accordingly. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.